In this episode, we can see about the fast displacement pump type, reciprocating type. Here you can see about the reciprocating type and the classification. The reciprocating pump is having a to and fro motion or moving backward and forward motion or up and down as distinguished from a circular motion and classified as a piston or plunger or bucket type pumps. Further, the classification is with respect to number of cylinders as simplex, duplex or triplex cylinders. With respect to the pumping element as a piston, plunger, single acting or double acting. With respect to the stuffing box as inside pack or outside pack, center end, the pack with a stuffing box packing. With respect to the valve as a single or multi or no inlet valve, which is magma liquid. With respect to valve construction as rubber or rubber with metal backing and composition. With respect to valve chest as single deck or double deck or turret or part type. With respect to pressure pumped against a low pressure, medium pressure or high pressure and hydraulic, the extra high pressure pump is used for hydro testing. With respect to cycle of operation of single acting, double acting, lift and force type. With respect to position of cylinders as horizontal or vertically mounted. With respect to valve arrangement as single valve, double valve, bucket valve or part valve. Same like this valve chest, turret and part is bucket valve or part valve. With respect to cylinder arrangement as single, duplex or twin type of cylinders. With respect to application of power, direct connected, power with flywheel or gear type connection. With kind of a power as steam driven or IC engine driven, electric motor or hydraulic driven. These are all the different type of reciprocating pump classification. You can see the schematic diagram of piston and plunger pump of the reciprocating type. Piston is shorter than the stroke and has a packing inside is laid inside a stem and to provide a tight joint. Plunger is longer than the stroke. Packing is carried out in a stuffing box at the end of the cylinder. You can see the piston is shorter than the stroke and this is the plunger. It is longer than the stroke. This is a difference and it is that packing is provided inside the rib. Here it's at the end of the stroke in the stuffing box. The cylinder packing will be here. This is a difference between plunger and piston. The head is small, is called piston, and the head, it is a moving head is longer, it is called plunger. This is the main difference between the piston pump and plunger pump. The schematic diagram of the piston pump. We can see the operation of the piston pump. This is a sump suction pipe, delivery pipes, suction valve, discharge valve. This is a piston and this is a cylinder. Inner dead center and outer dead center is a crank connecting rod. The reciprocating pump essentially consists of a piston or plunger which moves to and fro inside a cylinder. This is a piston type pump. The cylinder is connected to suction and delivery tube, each of which provided with a non-return valve called suction valve and delivery valve. Both are non-return type. This suction and this is discharge valve. The piston is connected to the crank by means of a connecting rod. This is a connecting rod. Crank rotated by an engine or motor. When the crank rotates 0 degrees to 180 degrees centigrade, piston moves from a extreme left position to the extreme right position and is moved from this extreme left to the extreme right. During the motion of the piston from left to right, a partial vacuum is created inside the cylinder. Because of this low pressure, water will rise from the well through suction tube and fill the cylinder by forcing to open the suction valve. So when it moves towards this right side, vacuum is created and water is sucked and it goes through the suction non-return valve type, and during the return motion it will get compressed or pressurized and it will go through the discharge valve or non-return valve discharge to the outer delivery pipe. Because of this low water pressure will rise from the well through suction tube and fill the cylinder by forcing to force open the suction valve. This operation known as suction stroke. Motion of piston from left to right. In the stroke, crank rotates 0 degree to 0 degree centigrade to 180 So delivery valve will be closed and suction valve will be operating during the stroke, suction stroke. The crank rotates from 180 to 360 degree, piston moves inwardly and from position right to left. No piston exert pressure on the liquid due to which suction valve closes and the delivery valve opens. The liquid flows through the delivery pipe. Stroke is known as delivery stroke. Now the pump has completed one cycle. The same cycle repeat as crank rotates. So when it is rotated at 0 to 180 degrees centigrade, the piston movement will be from left to right. During that, vacuum will be created. This liquid will force a valve to open, suction valve, fill the cylinder, and in the reverse motion 180 to 360 degrees centigrade. The piston with the force will rotate the piston to move backward, right to left. That will compress or pressurize the liquid. So because of this, this will close the non-return type valve, suction valve, and it will open the non-return type outlet valve and deliver the liquid through the discharge pipe. This is the operation of the reciprocating pump, reciprocating piston pump. Now we can see the air vessel provided in the piston pump and the suction delivery. This is the air vessel on the suction side, and this is the delivery type air vessel piston type pump. Air vessels are a closed container in which the half part is filled with water and upper half part is filled with compressed air. These air vessels are installed very near to the suction valve and delivery valve to avoid separation. This is the air vessel. Upper portion is with air, bottom is water separated by a diaphragm. Top of contains compressor and lower contains fluid being pumped. Air and water are separated by a flexible diaphragm which is movable as per difference of pressure between the two fluids. Air vessel is connected very near to the pump at nearly pump level. Throughout air vessel, frictional head increases and reaches a maximum value at mid-stroke and decreases to zero. With the air vessel, frictional head is constant throughout the stroke. Here the friction head will be constant, so we will get a good pressure. To obtain liquid at uniform discharge due to air vessel, friction head and acceleration head decreases, and the work overcoming the friction resistance is suction and delivery pipe considerably decreases which result in a good amount of work. Reciprocating pump can run at high speed without flow separation. It reduces the possibility of separation and cavitation. Suction head can be increased by increasing the height of the length of the pipe below air vessel. A large amount of power is saved due to the low acceleration head. You can extend this length of this pipe to get a more suction head, and a large amount of power is saved due to the low acceleration. Because of low acceleration head, large amount of power is saved. You can increase head by increasing the suction pipe of the air vessel. It will give uniform discharge, and air vessel avoid the frictional head for throughout the stroke. It also decreases the frictional head and acceleration head. So we will get a frictionless delivery. Now we can see the usage, advantage and disadvantage of the reciprocating pump. Reciprocating pump usage can be used in oil drilling operation, light oil pumping, pneumatic pressure systems, hydraulic jack, fuel injection in automobile engines, feeding small boilers, condensator tank. Mainly it is used as a hydraulic pump for hydro test in boilers. Reciprocating pump advantages are high outlet pressure is obtained, can also work in a wide pressure range. Priming is not required in the reciprocating pump. Reciprocating pump provides a high suction lift. Reciprocating pump can deliver the required flow rate continuously. Efficiency of the reciprocating pump is 10 to 20% greater than the efficiency of a centrifugal pump. Starting torque is less compared to the centrifugal pump. Disadvantage of the reciprocating pump is it requires high maintenance because of the more wear and tear of the parts. Low flow rate, it discharges a low amount of water. Flow will capacity reduce. Pump are heavy and bulky inside requires more floor area and heavy foundation. It is very heavy and bulky, so it required a very good foundation. Initial cost is also too high. Viscous liquids are difficult to pump using the reciprocating pump. We cannot use it reciprocating pump for a viscous liquid. Now we can see the comparison between centrifugal pump and reciprocating pump. Centrifugal pump has a steady flow, whereas reciprocating pump flow is pulsating. The torque during the centrifugal pump running is uniform, whereas the torque in the reciprocating pump running is not uniform. Centrifugal pump has high efficiency for low head with high discharge, whereas reciprocating pump is having low efficiency for low head and high capacity pumps. It's having low initial cost. Reciprocating pump is having high initial cost. Centrifugal pump maintenance cost is low, whereas high maintenance cost for required for reciprocating pump because of the wear and tear parts are more. It handles all type of fluids, whereas reciprocating pump cannot handle viscous fluid. Priming is required for centrifugal pump, whereas priming is not required for reciprocating pump. It can be used as a submersible pump. Centrifugal pump can be used. It's a unique type advantage, whereas reciprocating pump cannot be used as a submersible pump. Also, reciprocating pump required a heavy foundation because of big size and heaviness. Hope you might have understand the reciprocating pump working principle, different types, advantage, usage, disadvantage, and the difference between centrifugal pump and reciprocating pump. Do not forget to subscribe and share it with your colleagues and friends. Put your like and comments in the comment banks. See you later in the next episode with the operation requirement for the pump. Thank you very much.